दीपज्वालाभिः दिवसकर नीराजनवीति सुधासुते चन्द्रोपलजललवैर् आद्यरचना स्वकीयैरम्बोभिः सलिलनिधि सौहित्यकरणम् त्वदीयाभिर्वाग्भिः स्तव जननि वाचां स्तुतिरियम् इति श्रीशङ्कराचार्य विरचिता सौन्दर्यलहरी समाप्ता। शिवशक्त्युक्तेति भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलस्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरञ्चादिभिरपि प्रणन्तुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यप्रभवति ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಅಲಗಿರಿರಾಯನಿ ಚೊಕ್ಕಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠ್ಠಲನ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮ ನೀ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ.
ಶ್ರೀಮಾನ್ ವೆಂಕಟನಾಥಾರ್ಯಃ ಕವಿತಾರ್ಕಿಕ ಕೇಸರಿ ವೇದಾಂತಾಚಾರ್ಯವರ್ಯೋ ಮೇ ಸನ್ನಿಧತ್ತಾಂ ಸದಾ ಹೃದಿ. ವಾಗರ್ಥಾವ್ಯ ಸಂಪೃಕ್ತೋ ವಾಗರ್ಥ ಪ್ರತಿಪತ್ತಯೇ ಜಗದಪಿತರೋ ವಂದೇ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರೌ. ಜಗದಪಿತರೋ ವಂದೇ ಪಾರ್ವತಿ ಪರಮೇಶ್ವರೌ. Dear devotees of Balsam Hindu Temple and Cultural Center, welcome to you all for the celebrations of Vasantha Navarathri, the concluding day of the greatness that we can understand at least a little of Goddess Parvati. Kalidasa, the greatest poet in Sanskrit field, has written two great epics, Mahakavyam, namely number one Kumara Sambhavam and the other Raghuvamsha. Kumara Sambhavam contains 8 chapters called cantos or sargas, and you will find that the story of Shiva and Parvati is explained very beautifully. And we come to know the greatness of Parvati from the beginning of the first chapter. I told you already how Lord Creator produced Parvati's beauty with carefulness. Now, the girl Parvati got permission from her mother Mena and father Himavan, the Lord of Mountains, and then in order to seek the hands of Lord Shiva, she started doing penance. When she was serving him in the forest, Lord Shiva did not give much attention to her. He considered her as her only devotee and did not expect to marry her. So he was also doing penance in the forest. Atmeshwaranam nahijatu vignaha samadhi veda prabhavo bhavanti, Kalidasa says. When we are controllers of ourselves, no impediment will stop us from doing what we want. So Lord Shiva was meditating on Sriman Narayana, and therefore he was not to be disturbed by anything outside. So Parvati saw that he was concentrating on meditation, and Indra, the leader of gods, to achieve his own purpose, that the gods were disturbed by demon Vritrasura. So in order to kill Vritrasura, Shiva and Parvati must have a progeny, namely Lord Kartikeya, and therefore they must get married. So in order to make Shiva be affectionate to Parvati, wishing to marry her, Indra sends Manmatha, the god of love, Cupid, and Manmatha sends his flower arrows at Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva became furious, opened his third eye and burnt Manmatha to ashes. This is the background of the story. Now, having seen that Manmatha's efforts were infutile, Parvati could not contain her sorrow and she felt that her beauty is a waste. Tatha samaksham dahata manobhavam pinakina bhagna manoratha sati nininda rupam hridayena Parvati priyeshu saubhagya phalahi charuta. This is the usual tune with which Kumara Sambhava is sung. And Kalidasa's verses are always congenial to music. So here, so all of us know that only when we achieve our ends, our efforts will bear fruits, and therefore she despised her own beauty and then got the permission of the parents to do penance to seek the hands of Lord Shiva. So she, in summer, sat amidst four fires on the four directions and she looked at the sun at noon and performed penance. And in this winter, she was neck deep in cold water, ice cold water, and then performed penance. So with this severe penance, she wanted to achieve the hands of Lord Shiva. It is said in Sanskrit, Yad Dushkaram, Yad Durapam, Yad Durgam, Yascha Dushkaram, Tat Sarvam Tapasa Prapyam, Tapohi Duratikramam. It is very difficult to perform penance. But once we perform penance, we can get whatever is impossible, whatever is not possible to reach, whatever aim that we can, what we can have, will be achieved. So everything can be achieved by penance. So how was Parvati? Parvati was a small girl, tender in age, tender in physical frame. So it is said that in Tamil there is a flower called Anichampu. When you smell it, then it fades. So Moochu Patale Vadipad. So now doing penance will make Parvati fade in her beauty. But Kalidasa gives a beautiful example. Padam Saketa Brahmarasya Pelavam Shirisha Pushpam Na Punah Patatrinaha. A bee comes and sits on the flower called Shirisham to take honey. But you know the six-legged bee, and they are very soft. When the bee sits on the flower, it will not harm the flower, but still the flower gets faded. So that is the type of the tenderness of Goddess Parvati. Now, if anybody tried to stop Parvati from doing penance, Kalidasa gives a beautiful example that you cannot turn the water flowing from a high place to lower place. So manapayascha nimnabhimukam pratipayet kaha. So nobody can turn the water's direction from the high place to low place. In the same way, once decided in the heart, Parvati was firm, and she was in the forest while doing penance, and she showed a lot of affection to the flora and fauna there. And you know that suddenly, in order to test her firmness, steadfastness, Shiva comes in the form of a bachelor, young, and so on. So he was wearing bark garments. and his voice was majestic, and he was effulgent by his personality. And he entered into the forest of penance where Parvati was doing. So he was asking Parvati, generally the question that normally when we talk to a stranger, are you doing penance? Yes. So do you get the right materials in plenty? Yes. No, she did not answer the word yes also. So do you get enough good water to take bath? Then are you doing penance according to your capacity? Because you must take care of your health. Shariram adyam kalu dharma sadhanam. He says. So it is now he is asking, what is the purpose of your penance? Are you trying to absolve all your sins? And your beauty does not require any penance at all. Generally, a person is born with beauty only when he has no sins in the previous birth. And her character, Parvati's character, was exceedingly good than the sages in the forest. So he started asking further questions. So I have become a friend to you because we both walked with the 7 steps. Kalidasa indicates that there will be a Saptapadi of Lord Shiva and Parvati in marriage as usual, in our case also. That once two people go 7 steps together, they are called friends. So now he is asking the purpose of her penance. So are you trying to reach heaven? Divam yadi prarthayase. So do you want to go to heaven by doing penance? These are all some, of course, tricky questions, rather making a little fun of Parvati because he is going to marry her. He said, your effort is useless. Vritha shramaha. Because if you want to achieve heaven, then it is not necessary. Because your father's place is Himalayas, and in the mountain, all the gods from heaven come there and enjoy the beauty there. Therefore, your father's place itself is heaven. Then you need not seek heaven. Because you are a gem of a girl, and a gem of a girl, gem must be searched for, and gem does not go in search of the owner, it is. Naratna manvishyati mrigyate hitat. Of course, he said, by doing penance you can achieve anything. And you are wearing a silk sari with the design of swan in your dress, whereas Lord Shiva will be wearing a hide of the elephant, which is dripping with blood. And you will be on the elephant because you are the king's daughter, whereas he will be riding a bull. And then this will make all others make fun of you, laugh at you when you marry Lord Shiva. So generally a girl will seek the handsomeness of the bridegroom. So Kanya Varayate Rupam. The mother of the bride will always look for the property of movable and immovable of the bridegroom, rather the future son-in-law. Mata Vittam, Pita Shrutam. Father will ask for the qualification that, academic qualification that the groom has. Bandhavaha Kulamichanti. The relatives will have the question, the query, what is the gotram of the girl? What is the gotram of the boy? Are they from good family? then Mishtannam Mitare Janaha. All others who attend wedding will be interested in eating sweets and have feast and go. So you have another question by Lord Shiva. You are very beautiful, but he has got a third eye. He may look ugly. You are very rich, whereas Shiva is called Digambara. And what is compatibility between you and Lord Shiva? So you'll find that the answer given by Parvati is, oh boy, because he was a small boy. And then therefore he said, you don't know about the greatness of Shiva. He looks poor, but he is the source of all wealth. He is the Lord of all the three worlds. Though he is going on the burning ground of the people. He looks terrible, but he is auspicious in form. And nobody knows the true form of Lord Shiva. Then Parvati said to him, no, I don't want to hear any abuse of Lord Shiva. So she tried to go away from him. And then Lord Shiva caught hold of her hand and she was shocked. And then the boy showed himself as Lord Shiva. So now the Panigrahanam has happened, the holding of the hand. So the bride and the groom hold their hands in a particular way so that they will have good progeny in their married life. So we are very happy to give you a small introduction, anecdote, where Lord Shiva and Parvati got married with this small previous episode. Thanks to all the devotees of Falsam Hindu Temple and Cultural Center. We welcome you back in future for the future festivals of Shiva Vishnu Temple of Falsam, CA, USA. Dhanyavada.
Om Dimita Dimita Tum Dimita Dimita Tum Nache Bolanath Dimita Dimita Tum Dimita Dimita Tum Nache Bolanath Nache Bolanath Nache Bolanath Nache Bolanath Nache Bolanath Mridanga bole dimikita kita tum damaru bole har har shiva om Mridanga bole dimikita kita tum damaru bole har har shiva om